Oh, no way, dude. Reapers is giving us more YouTube videos? Yeah. So, I was going live for a little bit. I hate going live. Cleared up some storage on my phone. So now I'm able to make some more YouTube videos. That was pretty much what was holding me back is I just had so much on my phone. Just didn't go through and like clear a bunch of stuff out. So today we have a PS5 with an HDMI port that needs to be repaired. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. And it's not too dirty, so that's pretty good. This console looks very taken care of. She said that she thinks someone might have tripped over the cords, which is pretty common. Usually it's someone trips over it, knocks it over, moves it too much, or like an animal or something. Or accidentally knock it over or sit behind it like cats. So the port on this one doesn't look broken either, but if you plug in the cord, it's like super loose and it just wiggles around in there. So by the way, I'm loving this new drill. This thing's pretty sweet. Let me know like if you guys want to see like certain videos on certain things. And I'll definitely show you guys some different stuff if you want. But I pretty much just do this all the time, so HDMI ports and then like cleanings and stuff. I do controllers quite a bit now too, I guess. So if you want to see that, let me know. But yeah, so we're gonna take off this side panel here. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of a vacuum here because it's not like, whoa, it's not like too crazy. There's just a little bit of dust in here. So I'm just gonna get that all vacuumed up real quick. All right, so I went ahead and vacuumed that up, cleaned that up a little bit, and went ahead and took out this side panel here and got the bracket taken off of the motherboard. Undid all the connections on here, so I know like on a lot of my videos, especially my cleaning videos, I talk about, well, I don't know if I've actually said this on any of my cleaning videos, but I always tell customers whenever they come in, I would say probably like 98%, if not more, probably like 99% of these PS5s that come in, the liquid metal is separated on them, which can cause like the overheating issue. Some of them it affects, some of them it doesn't. So we're just gonna take a look. Now this lady is in here for the HDMI port. It didn't say anything about overheating or anything. And this console's fairly taken care of. Like it looks really good compared to most. But we're just gonna check it and see. And even this one, you see that bare spot there? Where's my camera at? Right in the middle? That's kind of nuts. See that bare spot right there in the middle? So even though this console isn't causing any problems, that liquid metal is still separated, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. These consoles are made to be laid down. Anybody who says to stand them up, they don't know what they're talking about at this point. Sony was actually sued for this, I'm pretty sure, but they paid it off super quick, like within the first year that they came out with the PS5. At least that's what I think I remember saying. I know that they did get sued for something like this though, and then they paid it off super quick. But yeah, as you can see here, even like right there in the middle, the liquid metal is accumulated in the center, but in that center spot, it's like bare. So yeah, almost all of these, I would say, if not saying all of them, would actually be more accurate than almost all of these, because a significant amount of these all have the liquid metal separated like that. But now that we have the motherboard off, we're going to go ahead and move over to my soldering station down here and get that taken off. Alright, so I got the motherboard set up here at my station. I already went ahead and put new solder on this new port here. And in case you don't know what this is, I actually 3D printed my own fume extractor to hook up to my fume extractor that I previously had. I like made like a 3D printed hose for it, just so that I could pretty much target what I want to extract, because it didn't work like that before. It kind of just, did like a big surface area of extraction, not so much like where I needed it. And so I didn't really like that, so I 3D printed a like hose, corrugated hose, in order to, or articulated. Is that what it is? Articulated? I think it's articulated. So that I could, move it wherever I want it to go, and pretty much target what I'm trying to you know, take away like, smoke and stuff. So now that we got this port nice and heated up, it should come off. Fairly simple. Yep. And we will let that fume extractor do its work, which it looks like it's perfectly doing. Look at that. Smoke is going straight in there. So I have another console that just showed up, so I'm gonna go grab that real quick and then we'll put this port back on. Alright, we're gonna get this thing heated back up. That way we can just throw the new port on. I already put some new solder on the pads on the board here, just so the new port can slide on there and stick well. You don't want to create any cold solder joints, and that can happen whenever either the board's not heated up enough or the port itself, like if the little pins on the back of it, if they're not pre-tinned properly, then it can also cause cold solder joints. Cold solder joints is whenever the joint between the pin and the board don't connect. So I'll go ahead and heat this up. I'm gonna pause it while it heats. Alright, now we're cooking, so we should just be able to drop the new port in there. And we'll let that heat up as well. You have to wait for the port to heat up before you try moving it or adjusting it, because it could cause a cold solder joint as well. So we're gonna let that heat back up. And while it's heating back up, I'm gonna put some of my solder just in the top of the feet holes here, and that just sucks the solder back up into the hole. Alright, I'm just going to adjust it now and put it where I want to put it. Looks like all the pins were nice and wet, I guess you could say, so it's still liquefied. And we're just going to hold the port down after we remove the heat. Make sure that all those pins solidify before we take away any pressure. Alright, so now those pins are solidified on the back there. Just going to check and make sure they're all secured. And then once we do that, I'm going to go disassemble the other PS5. Alright, so the next one that I'm working on is a PS5 Slim. And it looks like we had some dead critters in here, which thankfully they're dead. If they weren't dead, I wouldn't work on it, but they are dead, so that's always good, a good sign. So this one has the same thing, needs a new HDMI port. I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this up, brush it off a little bit, and disassemble this one, and then I'll probably reassemble the one we originally worked on. Oh, that one's not going. Come on. That was kind of weird. Got some more. One over here in the corner. See if we can get him. Can't get him. Alright, I know I said I was going to disassemble the PS5 Slim, but I had to use the restroom, and then of course I had a little bit of fun vacuuming up all those dead bugs. So I went ahead and moved the liquid metal around, and it looked like it stuck perfectly both on the APU and on the heatsink side. So we're going to go ahead and reassemble the first one that we were working on, just because I am taking a little bit longer, because whenever I record, it takes me a little bit longer to do the actual repairs themselves, and I try to keep everything under or within about 40 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this one put back together. And I don't know if I'll record it or not, but if I don't, then I'll show you at the end whether it's working or not. Which it will be, of course, because I'm doing the repair, so. Alright, we've got it all put back together. I'm going to go ahead and plug it up and see if it works. Alright. Right? Come on. Perfect. Look at that. We always want to make sure it's secure though, so I just give it a little tap like this. Because if there was a cold solder joint or something and I tap it like this, it would flicker here. So that means there's no cold solder joints or anything. Obviously, nothing's wrong with it. So this one's good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and give this customer a call, and then we'll go back to the dead cockroach infested PS5 Slim. All right, we're gonna start disassembling the PS5 Slim here. Also, I do not promote this at all. I don't think that you should use this type of stuff. I just I used to use it quite a bit, but I stopped. And the containers are just extremely useful for holding all these screws. They're low profile and they don't take up that much space, so that's why I use these containers. I wasn't planning on doing a double PS5 video here, but figured why not, right? We're back into making YouTube videos now, so might as well. I really like this drill though. I can't say how much I'm not like sponsored or anything by Bosch either. It's just this drill is really nice. I feel like it might actually be lighter than my old Makita one. I'll have to weigh them out on the scales and see. So when you're holding your arm up at this position for a long period of time, it gets really annoying. You're probably wondering why I don't use one of those like pin type ones all the time, and that's because they're just not as fast and don't have as good a torque as a regular lightweight screw gun like that does. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop all this open. See, again, like I said about the liquid metal, it's got to be like almost every single one of the. I rarely ever see the liquid metal being in the place it should be. I rarely ever see that. So even here, it's like completely off. Like not even cool in the system. That absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys could see it earlier, but yeah, the disk drive port here has also been snapped off. The customer already knew about this. She just doesn't want to get that fixed right now. A lot of people don't want to get this problem fixed, and this happens a lot with the Slims as people break these off. A lot of them don't really care about getting it fixed because a lot of them just use it as a digital console anyways. So, you know what I just noticed? I don't know if you guys can see that close. The solder is not connected to the port pins, and there's no little foam pad. So obviously this has been repaired before, but not by someone good, because you can see the pins and the solder isn't even connected to them. I noticed it when looking at the top of the board here. There's no solder in those feet holes. So someone janky tried to replace this before. All right, we're gonna go ahead and heat this one up and start to remove it. I have to get kind of like a top angle so you guys aren't gonna be able to see too much. Actually, it looks fairly decent, but this on the Slims, the port's on the left side, so it's kind of hard to set my camera up on the left side. It's easier on the right side, so hopefully you guys can see this well. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this heated up, and after I take out the port, we'll examine it and see what's going on. Alright, so basically the port, I knew it was heated up appropriately because it dropped, which means that it was definitely not connected to the board. Let's see, let's take a look. Everything looks okay though. All the pins, or all the pads, look like they still have plenty of solder. The pinholes look normal. So we're just gonna go ahead and drop the port on there. The new port that we pre-tinned there. Once again, I'm not going to adjust anything yet. I'm just going to put the solder on the top of the feet holes here. The back of the board's kind of cool. I didn't move the board as far forward as I normally do, so I may have to adjust it. Oh, it looks like it's heating up normal. Alright, we're just going to pull the port forward a little bit, readjust it, make sure each one of those pins are nice and fluid. Alright, looks like all the feet holes are covered. I'm gonna take the heat away. Now we're just gonna hold it down until all of that solder solidifies. Alright, looks like each one of those pins have solidified in the back. We are going to check the feet holes here, and it looks like all the solder is pulled up in those holes there. So we're gonna go ahead and let this one cool down a little bit before we get into it. Alright, so we got the new port on. This is what it should look like. You see how the solder is pulled through those foot holes there? That's what we're looking for. So this port should last a long time. The other port, unfortunately, it just kind of sucks. So we got the liquid metal spread back out. We did find some dust bunnies and a crevice, so I just put them there so I can vacuum them out as I put this console back together. Alright, as I'm putting back together this slim here, if you guys want to see certain videos or something like that, let me know. Or like if you want to see like reviews, repairs, anything like that, let me know. Obviously, if I do reviews on like electronic items and stuff, you have to understand I am a very small business, so it's not like I have, you know, like $700 to just go, you know, spend on something like big or random. So yeah, if you have any like suggestions or if you want to see anything or anything like that, just let me know. And I'll see if I can do something like that. I thought about getting into like electronic reviews for certain electronic items or something. Yeah, just let me know. I mean, if you can think of something that you want to see or something like that, and you don't want to buy it yet or something, just let me know and in the comments down there, and I'll go ahead and try it out, I guess. I mean, who knows? If not, then let me know what you want to see repaired. Maybe you want to see like older consoles or something like that. I don't typically work on those, but occasionally I work on like random stuff. So, you know, I may just throw random stuff on here that I do. Also, if you want to see like 3D print things, so like if you want me to like 3D print something for like a controller or something like that, I can also do that and like tell you what I think about it, like, you know, review it or something like that, because I have a 3D printer now. So yeah, just let me know if you guys think of anything. If no one sees this, then obviously I'm not gonna have any comments, but yeah, if you guys, you know, want me to review stuff or anything like that, just let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting this put back together though, and we'll test this one out. All right, we got it plugged up here and it is good to go.